I don't know if I can reconnect. I don't know. Am I reconnecting anywhere? Am I reconnecting to existing streams? Is it creating a new stream? I don't know. I'm guessing YouTube just decided that the stream is over. Yep. YouTube just decided the stream is over because my computer crashed. And it ignores the settings that says don't close the stream when I disconnect. It just ignores that setting. In fact, I don't even see the setting anymore. They must have moved it now or something. It used to be here. I don't see that setting anymore. Ah, wait, no. Here it says I'm still live. What's going on? Is it a new stream? Is it the same stream? I don't know. No, it's definitely a new stream, isn't it? Except on this new stream URL, I don't see anything either. Wait. I should be live, but I don't see a camera. What's going on? Oh, did it get hijacked by some other bollocks? No, it's just not there. Hello, camera. Okay, my camera app is also frozen. Everything is just frozen. Everything is horrible. Can I? Why does the app freeze when I press things? I never understood the thought behind that. Sorry, 1 second. I reconnected quickly because I didn't want disaster, but I think I have more disaster now. Am I live or not? I definitely don't have a camera, and I don't know why. I don't see what would be using the camera right now. Let me literally physically unplug the camera and replug it, and maybe then the camera app can connect to the camera. Maybe. Hey, look at that. We have a camera. Okay. Which is not pointing the right way because I picked it up. Which it's not really designed for. Okay, we have a camera. Is it gonna show up on YouTube, which keeps not staying up to date? Okay, so there's a something happening in YouTube. Also, I'm hearing myself, so somewhere it's not muted. Here it's not muted, okay. And it's also not live. Okay. Alright, I think the stream is back up and running. Anybody who's still there, please say something in chat. I know, Mark, you're there. You never say something. Can you say something, please, to verify things are working? I don't see my video image on Restream. So I don't know if Restream is not updating or if it's frozen again like it was earlier. Alright. I'm seeing myself on Freestream now. I don't know how long that'll last until it crashes. God, all this stuff is so unstable. All right, well, anybody who is still around, please pop a message into the chat and let me know if you're back on the stream. Let me see if I can update the messages in the Discord. Like if I just do this, can I just replace the ID? Will that work again? Okay, it looks like it might. God damn it. Sorry about that. And sorry about the effect it has on my mood. I have enough technical things to do. Hey, thanks for the message. I appreciate it. Somebody is here. Okay. So, this needs to be over here. Now I gotta figure out where all my windows are supposed to go. And let's hope I don't just crash again once I have all the apps up and running. And it was a fresh reboot as well, which is even worse. It really shouldn't have crashed like that. All right. And it was a fresh reboot as well. It really shouldn't have crashed like that. All right. Need to also start the test server. Oh yeah, my Windows terminal now crashes the video driver. So let's hope it's not gonna happen while I'm trying to stream here. Yeah, my stream windows, everything is frozen. It makes literally opening my Windows text terminal makes my computer sound like a jet engine because the GPU fans spin up. I don't know why. I don't know what the hell Windows is cooking. Yeah, all right. It's a text window for crying out loud. All right, that's all I needed from you. And to start up, please. The video quality looks like garbage right now on YouTube. I don't know why. And it keeps desyncing. I press live, and then the next time I look at it, it's behind. I don't know what it's thinking. All right, it claims the stream is healthy. All right. So this is not our test puzzle either. This is the test puzzle. This is not the local version. This is maybe not my what I'm okay, I think this is what I was working with before. Okay. Don't crash now, please. What do you mean not found? Now it's found. Okay, that was weird. Okay, so let's get back to putting this back into... Actually, I don't remember what we were doing. We were... All right, we've got that sorted to that. We've got that sorted to that. I want to see what the outputs are from the regular expression, which I believe are... Okay, so that's the URL. That's the URL kind of... What's the word? Sanitized, right? Do I want to deal with errors here if the URL isn't a valid URL? I think I want to deal with the error higher up, because then if the URLs aren't valid, then the whole, the puzzle shouldn't be played at all. All right, so we can do this 1, 2, and then we can do URL equals that. Sanitize URL. And that's also a dodgy technique that I'm not sure how valid it actually is. So, okay. So we have these URLs still sort of, well, they show as links, but they don't actually work correctly, right? What do they link to? Okay, they'll just, but they don't do what the attacker is trying to do. And having all this stuff showing in the rules text is kind of what we expect for something that doesn't match our link syntax here. Now, of course, this might contain other invalid characters. But I think it should already be sanitized against HTML. So we should be okay. All right. So that should sanitize against all of all the variants of this attack. Let's just have a quick look, because the diff ultimately should become quite small. Most of this stuff is gonna disappear, I believe. So we can remove all these. I don't think we need to actually modify anything in the main script file. 3668. All right. And that should get rid of all these changes. And then utilities, once we get rid of all the logging we've added, the changes should be mostly to the regular expression and the URL sanitization. So we can just put that in here. Oh, in here. And you can get rid of that. Right. So we have that small change. And we have, so let's have a look at these. Let's have a slightly better look at this. We're replacing this match with this. So we don't allow any character in the text anymore. We don't allow closing braces, right? In theory, we probably want them to be escapable, but I'm not going to worry about that. And it's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass. In fact, maybe we should disallow either kind of brace, just so people don't like end up with one and not the other. But yeah, that's the closing braces are the ones that are going to cause us problems, right? And then URLs we're limiting now to they need to be 1 to 1,000 characters. They can't be blank. And this text also needs the URL needs the text of the link needs to be at least 1 character. And that's probably it. And that one I probably want to hotfix. Hey, Chameleon. So I'll probably want to hotfix that into production rather than doing this in here. I'm trying to remember how I used to do the hotfixes. Do I do the hotfixes in staging and production simultaneously? Maybe. Is there some other change in production that will conflict with this? No. Okay. My god, I haven't done hot patches in so long I don't even remember the details. All right, so we want to bump the hot patch version. Run bump patch, right? Which should change what exactly? One sec. This is so big now. Doesn't fit. What does bump patch even do? I forget. I'll forget. Bump patch. It runs bump version. And bump version in scripts should do what? It should update a bunch of stuff. Uh-oh. Why is it not doing that? Why is this not doing that? 1 second. Close that. Bump patch. npm run bump patch. I'm in the wrong thing. All right. Okay, don't panic. It's all under control. Is the stream blurry for people on YouTube? Because it's super blurry for me. And also it stops being live every couple of seconds. But maybe it's because... Okay, it's because of my local settings somehow. All right. Okay. All right. So, we bumped the version to this. And we want to deploy... Okay, we want to... What do we want to do? Do we want to deploy... Because I think our versions don't match right now. Between staging and... Actually, I don't know. Let's find out. So, staging is on version 590.1 because of the hotfix. And production is, if I can find it, under 5910. Okay, so actually I can just hotfix staging and then deploy to production because there's no other changes. So let's not mess with productions. Let's just do that. Let's remind ourselves what these are supposed to look like. All right. And this is now going to be v590.1. Wow, I'm really not in the rhythm anymore. Fix arbitrary code execution. Vulnerability. And let's actually specify. And we did the fix in basically parse markdown links, right? Or was it in... I think that's only used here, yeah. And boom. Vulnerability. All right. Okay. So if I commit these and deploy these to beta, is that right? I haven't done that in a while either. Behind on a lot of things. Now if we run this, it's still there because we're on version 590.0, and now are we on version 920.1? Yes. And it's fixed, and those links don't do anything weird. And of course that means my this beta.SudokuPad. Nope. Beta.SudokuPad. Yep. This also doesn't work. Wait. This is not that. Okay, so it's not being deployed to beta. That's fine. That's fine. Thanks for letting me know. Can we read the code on the left side, which is not always true? Okay. Sorry about that. So what I'm gonna do is I have a deploy to alpha script. The problem is, what does it deploy? Does it deploy beta? I don't remember. It's a giant house of cards, I tell ya. Okay, deploy production to alpha. So if I do this, then alpha should still have the exploit, but it won't have the puzzle. And apparently it won't have an SSL certificate either, which isn't great. I renewed all of them. Come on. It's always something. It's always something. Where's alpha? Beta? Alpha. Valid 85 days. That's valid. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, not secure my butt? Expires on... No, it doesn't. Even this SSL checker agrees that it's valid for 85 days. Is this some stupid caching thing? Alpha.SudokuPad.app. Connection not secured. More information. Can I see the certificate? What do you mean not verified? God damn it. Why does this verify there's an SSL certificate? https://alpha.SudokuPad.app. What are you talking about? Valid from July 29th, 2025. If I restart, and if I restart the proxy, all right, and now like it should redirect to the secure version. What the heck? SSL. There's a tool. Propagation checker. There's a tool for checking SSL propagation. I think it's this one. So all of these, except in Mexico for some reason, DNS query timed out. That's so weird. Okay. What about SSL? No, that's not DNS propagation. I need SSL propagation. SSL diagnostic, SSL. I want to check. I used to have a tool. Well, it's a certbot, right? Expiration 85 days. SSL propagation. There is a propagation tool that I used to use that tells you where the certificates look certain ways. And I probably didn't save that because it always comes up so quickly. Can anybody check out Alpha to see if SSL works for them? I would appreciate that. Alpha.SudokuPad.app. Because I'm getting... Here, all the checks I can do, it says the certificate is fine, but when I actually go to it, it says certificate state is invalid. And it's it doesn't update. So, are these the same IP address? And both of them don't work in Mexico City, and in some place in Germany for some reason. What the heck? Okay, I don't know if there's some other problem going on. Alpha.SudokuPad.app. I mean, they're here. They look perfectly valid. Well, that probably should be on the screen. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. Alpha normally uses encryption protected. When Chrome tried to connect Alpha this time, the website set back unusual incorrect credentials. This may happen when an attacker is trying to pretend to be Alpha. Yeah. What's the exchange? Let's see, PM2 logs. So if I do this, like, what is the invalid data you're claiming to get back? Also, what the heck is going on with this? There's something not right with the server. Okay, that's gonna be a problem for another day. What's going on? Production to alpha. So if I go to var SudokuPad.up to alpha. Okay. April 10. I don't know what year. Okay, wait a second. What the hell is going on here? Let's just execute this directly without the mkdir. Ah, we don't actually need that. So I just execute that from here. Unexplained error, code 255. Rsync log output. Can I get some decent log output? So we probably want AV. Okay. Is it literally because it's so big now because of the shirt IDs or something? No, my system clock is standard. Well, it should be. Wait a second. No, Sunday looks fine. So for you, it works fine. So for me, it failed so far with Chrome and Firefox. 1 second. Let me try on my phone. This is ridiculous. Alpha.SudokuPad.app. Yeah, it seems to be fine on my phone as well. What the hell is going on my computer? Insert invert. Okay, Windows SSL cache out of date. Okay, can I... what other browsers do I have? Bing. Isn't Bing a browser? Not Bing.com. There's no Bing browser on this computer? Not Bing.com. No, I just want to find a browser called Bing. Bad Windows search meets bad Windows browser, I guess. Firefox, Chrome, Opera? Opera GX, come on. Oh, really? Audio while I'm streaming? Because I'm starting up a browser. That's totally sensible. It totally makes sense. God. Alright. Can I... It's also not secure. So this is definitely a Windows SSL caching issue. And this is probably all AI bollocks, right? Yeah, because I'm pretty sure none of this actually works. Can I get a refresh of my SSL certificate? Repair install. No, I don't want to do a freaking repair and install in Windows because it's dumb and can't figure out that the SSL certificates have been updated. Certificate cell cache. God damn it. Well, Well, that would be a weird hack to make Windows ignore an updated SSL certificate, especially since the update only happened like a week ago. But Windows, you don't need to hack Windows to break it. Windows is so bad. There used to be, I used to know the command. Clear. Windows 11 SSL cache clear. What's the command to clear the frickin' cache? That isn't wrong. Clear browsing data doesn't work if it's also broken on incognito mode, because incognito by default has its browsing data cleared. Yeah, like I don't want to I really don't I don't want to clear my site data from my own site that I'm testing. I want you to refresh the certificate. Chrome force refresh SSL certificate. How can I force it to refresh? It's not giving me the up-to-date. Seems to fix itself. Oh god. Don't tell me I have to restart everything. Especially since it's across multiple browsers, which is kind of horrible. Yeah. And then everyone's like, oh, just do this, and then it's broken. Alright, internet options. Can I do it from here? Content, certificates. Issue 2. Yeah, I don't want to mess with that. Content, clear SSL state. Internet options properties. Content. Where is this clear SSL cache? That they say clear content? Yeah, this is where I am. Wait. Content, clear SSL state. Okay. Nope. Chrome restart. Oh my god. This is gonna kill my stream. Yep, it probably does. And it didn't do anything. God damn it. Well, of course that stopped the music. Well, I don't know if all sorts of things got broken now. And you used to be able to just bypass it and just say, hey, it's fine. Okay, well, definitely something broken on my machine. Probably a reboot will fix it, but yeah, I'm already on the 3rd reboot today, so that's great. That's great. Does beta work now? Beta works? Why does beta work and alpha doesn't? That's so silly. What about production? Production, I presume it works because we looked at stuff on production, right? Then why the hell is alpha different? It's basically the same certificate. I refreshed them all at the same day. Ah, you know what? Well, yeah, I checked it on my phone, so it works from a different browser. So I can't get into chat now, into Restream chat, because of course, that doesn't work properly. Yeah, the problem is rebooting also usually breaks stuff. It's not the first time that I then can't start. Like, I've had days where the computer just wouldn't start up anymore. The annoying thing is I can't test that right now. Okay, I tell you what we're gonna do. Since I haven't updated production yet, I can actually just work on production, ironically, at least locally. Oh, okay, so it's doing the deployment now to alpha. And of course, that's gonna take forever. if it's updating the API. God damn it. All right, it's like 3 gigabytes or something. All right, let us look into it. So, where is my little funky version here? Nope, that's everything. Of course, is now in the wrong places because, of course, it is. Everything else would be too easy. One sec. All right, close that, close that. Let's get rid of everything we don't need right now. We're gonna move these. I'm gonna move this. This is the work. This is older work. This is what we're gonna work on, and we can do away with this. All right, so we have a fix. That's step 1. I'm gonna close that and that and that and that and that and that and that, and we don't need that. Okay, so we've got a fix. Fix live on beta. And now, first of all, we're gonna make sure the puzzle. Wait, is that the? Okay, that's just some tools I was using to work on it. So, my version of the puzzle is this, right? Which now is no longer nasty. And I might actually have to double check on the puzzle data itself, right? Because it's under production. API, don't freak out. Puzzle, don't freak out. Find Sven. Sven, here we go. So that's my special puzzle. And if we go to staging, API, puzzle, Sven, it's there as well. Okay, so we should now be able to run the test, the production server here as well on a different port. Yeah. All right, so this should, so this is the version, the fixed version, and this is the unfixed version. And what is it complaining about? Okay. And it should just do that. Okay. And we want to kind of modify it a little bit to be neater and kind of look like that. Right. So, the problem with this, with what I've done here is that it's actually a little bit of a pain in the butt. Basically, what the exploit does is it takes advantage of the fact that when I parse the URL of a link, I don't stop parsing when the link is closed, and it basically pulls in a whole bunch of stuff. And in this demo, it pulls in some JavaScript. What I did was I basically took a the Doom game, which is basically a 13K, you know, JavaScript 13K, which is an event for building small JavaScript things. Winner, I don't know. But it's not actually 13K, it's like 30K compressed. But basically what I did is I took, and it has a bunch of HTML and CSS and all this stuff. So what I did was I took the whole thing, and where is it? Let me just close this. And I basically, I think, no, that's not it. No, yeah, here we go. So this is basically what the file that I have, right? So this file is, can I open, yeah. So this file is 31 kilobytes, right? And it has a bunch of stuff. It has it has basics for encoded stuff and so on and so forth. And I realized it would be a huge pain in the butt. It has a lot of shader code, right? It would be a huge pain in the butt to get this escape correctly. So what I did was I basically Space64 encoded this as a URL, right? And that URL is basically what goes into an iframe, right? Because otherwise I cannot, like I was thinking of just replacing the root URL, you can't, right? So basically I end up with a URL, a data URL that contains this HTML file that goes into an iframe. And then I have a little bit of code wrapped around the outside, which unfortunately I feel like I might have not kept a good version of. Where basically, I think this was for testing, right? Where basically, yeah, so here, iframe source. So this is basically the JavaScript, right? So I assign this base64 URL, which is this, to an iframe, to a variable, and then I basically execute this bit. And I think it goes till here, right? And let's look at this as JavaScript for a sec. And we're basically saying, here, we're saying, okay, create an iframe element, right? Append it as a child to the body, right? Then we'll do this, right? We'll assign the data as our source to this iframe, right? And the data is, if we look again, we can see, not here. Yeah, the data starts with this, right? So it's a basics for a URL encode. In fact, let's pull this out so we have it separately, right? So we'll do this. So that's our URL. So if I put that URL into a browser window, it basically is that full page, and we can play the game, right? And then we kind of just assign some styling to it here. Right, and the style is, and it's again, it was a bit of a pain in the butt because obviously it needs to be escaped accordingly, and it basically just makes sure it covers the whole screen, right? So the modification I want to do to this is that I think I can just, if I base64 encode this, or automate the escaping of this, it'll be a lot easier, right? Because what I can do is I can like eval, I can basically eval this, right? So let's say if I take this and we'll do A to B, this, right? Or B to A, right? And then what I can do is I can take this, I can do A to B, this, right? And I can probably just eval that. Right. And then iframe source is not defined. So if I take this and give it an iframe source, so let's say we make a little closure here. We'll do let iframe src equals local host 9012. Right? And then we'll have this as the second line. And then we'll just run this. This should, yeah, this should create an iframe with localhost, you know. So what that means is we can base64 encode the actual JavaScript itself as well. And then it'll be a lot easier to mess with it because then we don't have to worry so much about escaping things. And then I can potentially even zip and compress the lot. I've messed with that recently. Let me see if I can find that quickly. Because then we can maybe bring the 31 kilobytes down as well. So I think if I do this, I did here. Yeah. I think did I? Because I basically figured out that there is technically a standard for gzipping in JavaScript built in. And we could potentially just use that, and it won't be very big because we don't have to actually include the whole compression algorithm. The question is, can I find it quickly enough that it makes sense? One second, let me do this. If I do this and I do find gzip like that. Nope. If I just find zip. Nope. If I find zip case sensitive, no. Okay. If I say one up and then find gzip. Find zip. Okay. If I do browser JavaScript compression gzip, can we do this? I think this is it, right? Compression stream. So if I search for compression stream, so we go. Here we go. I believe that's where I left it off. Gzip compressed to base 64, gzip decompressed base 64. Right. Now, the annoying thing is we're already in base 64 land, and double base 64ing might actually make things pretty nasty. The problem is I don't see how I can put this raw data into the zipped format. That, or put the code into normal.js files somewhere. Well, the whole point is that it can host arbitrary code in the puzzle data. That's kind of the cool part about it. So, again, we're not really doing an exploit. We're kind of just demonstrating a cool little thing, right? So, the question is, how can I get this into a format that is actually a string? Because this will have all sorts of quotes, quote symbols in it, right? I can take, you know what I can do? I can take the base 64 encoded data and then decode it before I pass it into the compression, right? So technically, if I take this and I go B to A, like that, should come back with the HTML code, right? No, A to B. I never know. I never know which way around. So if I do this, that gets us the HTML, and then I can pass it into the compression algorithm, which I put somewhere else. Over here. Right. So let's just put that here for a sec. So if I do this, and we'll make a little something like that. We might need it async. Right. And then we'll have this. And then we can do, so we can say that str equals this. So our str is that. Right? And then we'll do A to B length. Right. So if I do this, we should get two numbers. Text is not defined. Huh? What do you mean text is not defined? Text what? Oh, I forgot about that up there. Yeah, so the base 64 is 30 kilobytes, while this is already 41. But now we should be able to compress it. And we should just get this. Now, I think it ends up as binary data. No, it ends up as base 64 encoded data, right? No. So let comp equals boom. Comp.length. gzip compressed to base 64. A to B string. Why does that not work? Oh, because we're async here. Okay. So finally, the final version is only 18 kilobytes. You see that? So that's nice. And then we can replace that with the decompression and then put the rest of the JavaScript in there, and it'll be quite a bit. And then hopefully the whole thing is not insanely large, right? So the point, obviously, if I have a 2 megabyte puzzle, you know, you look at it and you're like, oh, well, 2 megabytes, you can do a lot of things. But if you have like a 24 kilobyte puzzle, then it's not that much bigger than some actual puzzles out there. And maybe it'll be more interesting and more impressive. So, and if I do this, and get rid of that, we'll do that. In fact, let's put that in a new area here. And decompress. Async. Nope. Async length. Like that. And we're back to the original. Cool. So that means we can store it as that. And we can even make the whole URL. But for now, I think we do want to decompress it afterwards, right? Right. Okay, so that gets us down to about under 20 kilobytes. And now we need the JavaScript that does the thing. Right. Now, to test that, I want to go back here. And what I'm going to do is... Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use a black... something as our placeholder, right? A black iframe. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have this running. We're gonna do this, right? So we'll have our actual JavaScript here, and we'll figure out a way of compactifying and all this stuff. For now, we'll just run it, right? The URL is going to be probably something like, we'll probably just do something like this. HTML style equals background magenta slash HTML. Like if I do this, right? And I'll say, elements HTML, edit as HTML, and replace it, right? We'll get that. And if I say base 64 encode, or more easily, if I just do that, B2A, right? And then we should be able to turn that into a proper HTML URL. Where is it? Like that. Like that, right? And if I do that, we get that. And if I do this, and I just run that here, we get that. Okay, so that shows us where our iframe will be. So basically now what we want to do is, and we probably don't want to do it here, we probably want to do it here. Basically, what we now need to do is to get to our ideal version is find the position of the puzzle. That's step one. And I think there's already plenty of things that do that. So hopefully we don't have to restart from scratch. What is doing that? Anything to do with positioning? Okay, let's have a look at. Oh my god. Okay, close that. Open that. So there's a feature I worked on recently. Was it layout? Maybe, maybe not. SudokuPad Pro, no. Seasonal, no. Project number 9. I believe it's this one. So we should be able to do Yeah, unfortunately, anything related to the story is complicated. But ideally, actually, we really only care about the bounds of the SVG, right? So bounds. If I do this, framework.app.renderer, SVG renderer, nope, SVG renderer dot SVG element. Like if I do this, that might be all we need. We're in the wrong editor window. Don't need that anymore. Don't need that anymore. Yeah. So what we're gonna do is let be. All right. And then we can say we'll do this 200px, 200px, and we'll do math.round b.x. Or is there a left and top? There's a left and top, which should be the same as, okay, well, left. And we'll probably need to do something like this, because it needs to be in pixels, I believe. Right? So if I do this, okay, and then we'll probably do something like that for width and height. Like that. Right. And then we'll probably need to update this on resize. So document.body.add event, or I think we can just do it on resize. Wait, mdn resize event. Is it on window? Window. So we'll do window.add event listener resize. We'll do that. And we'll do this. Boom. And then we'll do document dot query selector for iframe. Right? We'll do this. Equals. Right. Actually, and we just do object dot assign that dot style. And then here, we'll basically do this. Boom. Right. And we don't need to do that here then. So const handle resize. Boom. We'll just put that in here. Boom. We'll put that in here. And then we'll execute it once after this as well. And then we don't have that here. Right. So if I refresh this and do that, and now resize it, all right, it should stay in the right spot. Yeah, no, there's no diff that's positioned well. So step one. Next step are these controls. Now, one of the issues I have with them is that I don't actually have a lot of direct control of what's happening inside the file, and I want to rewrite this Doom version. I want to be able to use it verbatim. So the question now is, can I trigger events that correspond to the button presses and all that sort of thing, right? So JavaScript send mouse event to iframe. Can I synthetically generate a... Yeah, I don't want click. I want on mouse down, one on mouse up. Send mouse down event to iframe. No, I don't want to capture it. I want to send it. Mouse events to an iframe. Let's just check something. Which one is the one that's actually supposed to be running? I think this one. Right. Let's just check. I think I have to... I'm trying to see if there's pure keyboard controls. No. There's no fire. So I have to... Yeah, I have to click and then drag. So we have vased and we have click. So let's see what we can do with that. I don't know, I have so many windows open. I think we can do that here and here. Just send synthetic mouse down event. Element from point. Double click, check. No. Practically trigger events to the iframe, but you can send a post message and add a little handle on the iframe side. But I don't want to modify what's in the iframe, right? Let's pretend it's an external thing, right? Imagine we want to make something that generically lets us play games, any game, right? Like in an emulator, for example. That's kind of the situation I'm looking at. Ciao guys, have fun. I'm gonna switch on some lights because it's getting dark outside. Bright, and softly in the kitchen. All right. I've done all this before. I just hoped I can just look it up instead of having to restart it. Hand over mouse event to iframe covered by another element. Test frame pointer events auto. So what's that? No, I want to manually generate them. Send synthetic key down event to iframe. Without jQuery, come on. We don't need freaking jQuery anymore. Can we just, what's the JavaScript for it? Organize the content iframe with the JavaScript. No, that's not even remotely related. Button click cause an event in iframe. Can a button click cause an event in iframe? The frick? Ah, come on. There's an API for generating synthetic events. Does nobody do that anymore? Does nobody... The internet has become pretty awful. You know what? It's gotten so awful. ChatGPT can't be much worse, right? How can I send a synthetic key down event to an iframe? All right. So, if we're doing this here, right? Ah, wait, what was the target dispatch event? Okay. So let's look at that. This is supposed to be JavaScript. Boom, boom. All right. Let's put it in a closure. All right. Query selector iframe. All right. Why are you confused about the brackets? iframe.onload. No, don't need onload. All right. Okay, so this should trigger by iframe origin from accessing cross or origin frame. Wait, failed to read name property document from window. What do you mean cross origin? We're on the same origin. How are we not in the same origin? Cross origin frame with base 64 euro date URL. Blob URL to choose the same without this restrictions. Okay, so I guess we gotta do that. We'll do it. We can't use the puzzle now. Okay, so what we gotta do is we gotta get this. Nope. Where are we? Here. Let data URL equals this. Right. Of course, this browser doesn't handle 18 kilobytes of whatever. Ooh. Just put it in there. Right. Blob URL. Blob URL is this. Type is text HTML. Boom. Data URL. Blob URL. And this should be just blob URL. Right. And if we go to this and I type in that, it does something weird. Okay. What? Is it? How do we convert a base 64 URL data URL to a just adding some allow props? No, because data URLs are always considered insecure. Yeah. We could use document.write probably. But this should also work. I just gotta get the syntax right. I wonder if here we only want the base 64 data. So let's see. Base 64 data URL to blob URL. Data URI split. So it only cares about the bits after the comma. Oh, maybe. Yes. What if we do split, right, 1, and then we'll do, if I do this, right, console log, if I output this, and then we'll do A to B with a 50-50 chance that that's the one we need rather than the other one. That looks right. So that would give us the raw data, and then we can turn that into a URL, and maybe that'll work. Hey, look at that. That works. Sweet. Oh, cramp. I have a painful cramp. Okay. Nope, we need that because on the stream, you guys don't see the left edge of my screen. Okay, so that works. We can get rid of that. Can get rid of that. Okay. That still does the thing. Now I want to see if that works. Okay. Okay. Ah, we're somewhere. All right. Now, do I want to? I can probably just wipe this out, the keypad, right? So let's do that next. So we can replace those keys, right? There's some stuff I can do for that, but and let's have a look at your reference image. I think because I could go in there, I could use the APIs to basically manipulate that. Yeah, but this works also. I could go, like, there's some API calls. So for example, what these tools do, right? So if we're looking at the replay tool, feature, replay. I don't even know what it's called. Or is this a tool rather than a feature? I think that's a tool, yeah. So we have... I don't even remember how this is supposed to work. It looks so simple. Where do all the buttons come in from? That's so weird. How does this work? This is so slim. Holy shit. Where are all the buttons? Oh. That's so weird. Where are all these buttons? Wait, there must be another file related to this, surely. Like even these things. Like, where does this SVG data come from? Oh, is this all CSS? Tool replay CSS. Oh, it's all in the CSS. Oh, wow. Sorry, that was really clever. Yeah, I'm not that clever anymore. I don't want to be that clever. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna just wipe the buttons out and put back our own buttons. So, and we don't need this whole thing. So I'm just gonna make a new version here that's much simpler. And we'll just go into controls input. So, a document.query selector this dot inner HTML equals. So if I do this, right, it'll get wiped, right? But if we put something back in, so for example, a button row, in fact, we can probably just go... This is really all just that, huh? And I started to wonder, maybe I am better off if I just keep the buttons. If I copy the original HTML, maybe that'll save us some time. So if I do something like this, and I put that in here, and I'm wondering why the music stopped. Why has the music stopped? Oh, it's just really quiet right now. Huh. Thanks for hanging out, Chameleon. Take care. All right, so if I put that here, okay, we get the first row of buttons. And what do we need? We need one button in the top middle, and then another row of buttons underneath. And we kind of want to do something like this, more or less. And these buttons, we need to style them a little bit. Unicode arrows. I am not gonna generate SVG for that stuff. No, not top. What symbols do you use? You just used regular narrow arrows. I think we can maybe use triangular arrows, kind of like on what you would normally get on a keypad on a keyboard. Oh, these are kind of cool. So if we kind of do something like this, right, and then left, right, and backwards, like that, right? And then here we'll do style equals padding left. I think it's 8.3 rem or something. 8.3 rem, something like that. Ah, not padding, margin. No, not 8.3. What size are these things? 4. So it's 4.3. I believe the 3 is the spacing between the buttons. Boom. There we go. Maybe not exactly. So that's 4. Padding 4. And padding margin 4.15 then. No. 4.25. It's not 4.45 then? Maybe two amounts of padding to account for? Yeah. I think not. Yeah, that aligns it perfectly. Okay. Cool. And then jump and fire. So we'll do one more button row with 2 buttons. Jump. Is there a Unicode fire? Well, there's a flame. Explode. Root. Gun. There's a water pistol. All right. So if we say, if we want 2 that are half width, so we have 4.15 times 3. So 4.15 times 3 divided by 2. No, times 3 minus 0.15 divided by 2. I'm not sure. Let's start with 12 and 12 and see what it looks like. Ooh, okay. We don't like that. Not margin, left. Whoops. Width. Uh-huh. Why is that row so wide? Flex width 10 rem. I don't understand. Huh? Where does the width come in on these? Maybe it's on the flex as well. So 006 rem. We have to do the width and the flex. Like that. Ah, okay. That's not too bad. So if these are 4 times 3, so it's 12 minus one of the spacings that we need to split between the two here. So it'll be 6 point... It's probably going to be 6 point... half of 1 point... of 0.15. Or this. Okay. And then we'll probably want to do something like style equals margin top. And the button rows, I guess, are 4.3 or something. 4.3 rem. Or it'll be 4.14. Although these seem to be aligned. Okay. So now we're kind of here. Okay. Let's hook these buttons up. And then we can potentially take all of this HTML and also, you know, make it more compact and all this stuff. The nice thing is I think we can get rid of all of this. And maybe even these. Maybe. I think none of these affect styling. I think these are all for actual operation of the regular puzzle, which, you know, we're kind of pretty far from at this point. Okay. Okay. We'll probably left, back, right. Or let's just up, down, left, right, jump, fire. Right. So if we do this, and we can integrate that with this, boom, boom, boom. So we can do that. And now we can just say document.query selector button title equals jump. Right? That'll work. Nope. Title equals 1. Ah, okay. So, title button title equals left dot add event listener click move left. Right, and then we'll have something like move left, which is a function, which and we'll clean this up and simplify it in a moment. But it'll basically execute this. And we'll probably only need to do this once up here. Let's move that to here. Iframe is that. Right. Iframe doc to body. Don't need that as a variable. Don't. We can do this. We can do this. And we can do all these. Right. And then we can just inline that. Right. Whoops. I'll just do that. Boom. So, if we do this, put that in here, wait for this to load, and then I press this. No, it doesn't work. I'm also gonna move this down here. This doesn't work. Why? Console.log move left. Our doc is this. iframe doc.body. Event listener, click left. We also want to do button left. Boom. Button left. Okay. Click on this. Okay. Wait a second. Why does it work now? Maybe when this was executed, it wasn't quite ready yet. iframe doc about blank. iframe doc about blank. So I think what happens is iframe isn't ready yet at that point. So if you put that in here, it should be fine. Right? So if I do this, there we go. Yeah, actually this doesn't make sense because you need to click on it to navigate. So unless I actually, yeah, the control thing is cute, but unless I implement like a whole touch interface, it's not gonna be a good time. Because, for example, I don't know if, because I need mouse up and mouse down, right? And I basically would have to listen to pointer up and pointer down or something. So we'll have to do something like pointer down. Right? Is the music louder than I had originally anticipated? Huh. Anybody still in the stream? I don't think right now anybody is. So we'll do pointer down, and we'll do pointer... pointer. We'll do pointer up as well. So I want to see if it works for touch as well as for mouse when I do that. Down, up, down, up. Okay, so what we want to do then is we definitely need to wrap this a little bit better. So we'll do something like const send key equals, and we'll do event, and then key code, right? And then we'll basically do this. So move left goes here, or it's going to be a little bit different actually. Yeah, so we get rid of that. We'll do that. We have key. We have code. We have key code. And then that also becomes key code. And then this becomes event. Right. And now what we can do is on pointer down, we'll do send event a key a 65. I should have written those down. Key down. Right. and then on pointer up, key up. Right. I mean, this is complete overkill because it's actually not realistic to play that just with touch screen and whatnots. We're missing a brace somewhere. Iframe body dispatch. Key event. Cancelable true. Iframe body dispatch. Send key. Add event listener. Event. I don't see where it's missing a bracket. After argument list. What are you talking about? Dispatch event. That's the end of this argument, this object. That's the end of the keyboard event. Oh, there's no comma after event here. Okay. Let's do that. All right. And if I go out of here. Okay, so that works. So now we kind of want to do the same thing for the other directions. So we'll do up, up. And, you know, this could be done more compactly. But, you know, we're squeezing 20 kilobytes of Doom code in there as well. So maybe this doesn't matter as much. So we need up, that's a W. We need down, that's S. W, W, string, W dot char code at 0, 119. A is, 65, okay. So W is 87. 87, 87, and S is 83, 83, 83, S, S, and D is 100, 100, 100, D, 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 D. And we can probably synthesize the rest. We could synthesize the rest, right? So what we can say is, we'll just say something like this: keys, boom, and then we'll say we map W, or we map the up button to W, right? And we go up, down, left, right, up, down, left, right, up, down, left is A, and right is D. Right, and then we'll just do something like for const btn key of object dot entries keys console log btn key, and I'll put the other versions. So for the key we want to do key dot to uppercase dot char code at 0. Right. So if I do this, it should spit out all the things we need: 87, 83, 65, 68 to uppercase. That seems wrong. That seems slightly wrong. Yeah, because these were the ones we had before. So w.char code at char code at 0, and W char code that is 87. I don't think actually it matters if it's upper or lower case, I believe. So we'll just do this, right? And now what we're gonna do is let EL equals this, like that. Or just that, whatever. And then we'll say EL to that. Pointer up, pointer down, pointer up. Key down, key up. And then it'll be key, key. And this one is we call code. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll do code equals key dot to uppercase. So we have key, we have code, and then we have key code. Key code equals key dot char code at 0. Boom. Key up, pointer up. Right. And then we don't need any of that. And it'll be easier. God, this will be more advanced than my key handling in SudokuPad. And we forgot another brace somewhere. Or probably a comma. So I'm starting to learn. Key code 0. Yeah. This time we actually forgot a brace. All right. So now refresh that, do that. Clicking these buttons will actually do a thing. There we go. Cool. Now, I don't think this game actually has a jump. Let us figure out what the actual keys are in the game. I think it shows the keys at the start. Fine. Control keys, key bindings. Incredibly ugly. I use it arcane. Want to add new polygons? Select an existing vertex. Sure. Okay, no, not I remember. Where is the online? Get HTML. Info. Doom HTML, that's the minified version, right? So if we just look at game, find key down. Nope. Audio shaders, RTL. Doom.html. That's obviously the minified version. Ah, no, it's not the minified. What am I saying? Okay, but still, it doesn't say where the keys are set. Add event listener key W. No, that's the actual binary data, I'm guessing. Can I search in this repo? Key W. Nope. Add event listener. This dot listen. Okay. Listen. Here we go. All right. So there's a Q button. Key. There's a Q, capital Q, E, D, A, D. Okay. R. Rotate the. No, this is the map editor. There's a map editor. Okay, let's just reload it, and maybe it'll tell us. How about that? Move, last, aim, shoot, mouse, click. Okay, I'm gonna have to try this on a touchscreen. So there's no jump. There's no jump. Let's just get rid of that and make this 12. Right? And what's the fire button? Is it click? It's click. Okay. So we'll probably want to do something like can we do something like const add event here, and we'll just say key ev fn, right? And then it'll do this, boom, this, I'm in the wrong place. We'll want to do btn, right? ev fn, right? Then we'll just do this, btn, pointer down in that, and then we'll do the same thing with pointer up, key up, like that. And then we don't need any of that, right? And then we can do the same thing here, and I'm gonna have to stop that because holy moly, that's driving me crazy. Thank you. Oh, okay. Now we want to do pointer down, and we want to do we don't want to do send key. We want to do mouse click. All right. Where is our ChatGPT? Boop. And for mouse down. All right. This stuff is the same. We have send key. Send mouse. Right. And then we'll just have event xy. We'll do something like that, right? So now it will be mouse event. We'll have this stuff. Something like that. Iframe content window. Okay, fair enough. BXY. BXY. Okay. And that should be it. So if we now say here, send mouse, mouse down, and then it will be just 1, 0, 0. It might jerk the thing around. Left. No, it's 0 for left. All right. So let's refresh that. Get that in there. BTN is not defined. Mouse, send mouse, B. Button B. Where is BTN not defined? EUL. Oh. Fire. Right. Okay, that doesn't work. Okay. What does this mouse event look like? Am I dispatching in the right fashion? Target content document, iframe content document, iframe content window dot document, iframe doc target, iframe body. Const get ifd ifd. Turn right. And the target is ifd.body. Yeah. ifd view. Okay. What if we return iframe, or we'll just call it if here. So we'll return the if. Can I just... If I do this, right, and then I can return if, and then if dot that, and if dot that. Right? And then I can just say const ifd equals boom. And then I just say if.body. Right? if.body. Sorry, ifd.body. And then I can say, oh, ifr. If I guess is reserved. All right, iframe, and then this one will be iframe.content window. Does that work? Iframe is not defined. ifd, iframe, ifr, ifr content document content window. Where are we looking for iframe? ifd, that's the document. Where are you looking for iframe? ifr.content window. Oh. Second use. All right, I'm gonna go again until morale improves. Boom. Is it because it's a mouse down event? Maybe it's not looking for that. Where is the source file? Not this one. I believe this one. Mouse down. On mouse down. Click. Unclick. Maybe it's a click event after all? Maybe it's a click event. It's not this one. So send mouse does what? Mouse down. Okay, so what if we do a send mouse click? Maybe that's the thing. No. All right, I need to be able to do this in here. So let us copy this, but without the other stuff. So if I take these, right? And then just execute a send mouse. So we can do a send mouse click, a send mouse mouse down. So first we need to load in the game, and then we'll do this. And if I do this, and if I do a set timeout, this function in 3 seconds, do nothing. All right, that is not working. What do you have to say for yourself? Div canvas that receives the mouse event's body div canvas. It must be the same origin. Body div canvas button that can receive mouse events. Body div canvas button. Body div canvas button. Maybe there's a canvas element we can so view target. This is not working. Head mouse down. iframe, my frame. First button mouse down. And it's clicked. Let's see. Can you analyze this issue, which is the content of the iframe? Let's see if it can handle 30 kilobytes of whatever. Game runner started the canvas and does not use dumb elements like button input. The response then listens for low-level browser input events. The game JavaScript listening change. Fired at the right place, the chord. Extend mouse down, key down to the iframe. Yeah, that one works. Mouse event canvas. All right. Win.document. Okay, so content window. Content window. So, content window. We are getting content window. One sec. So content window is this. Okay. So we actually want content window dot document dot query selector hash CQ. Right? That should do the trick. According to ChatGPT. Let's see. We're just vibing here. Vibe stream. Oop. Okay, so I don't think that's gonna work. And it probably won't work for mobile. So I think I'm gonna cut it short here. I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm just gonna put in some, that's funny. Ooh, it doesn't like that at all. I'm just gonna put in some text saying click to control. I don't think it's worth the gag spending an hour trying to get these buttons to work. Doesn't make sense. So that means we're just gonna do this. We're actually gonna keep a copy of this, but other than that, I'm just gonna get rid of this, right? And we're gonna do something like, we're gonna put a little HTML in here just to talk about it, right? Click on the window on the click on the box on the left to control with mouse. No touch. Sorry. WASD keys for movement and mouse for looking and fire. Cool. So if I do this, don't need that anymore, right? So you can now do this. Do that. That. Okay. Top height, left with top height. Sure, that's fine. Let's refresh, put that in there. Why do we get that? 1 second. If I do this, we have this. If I do this, it does that. We probably want to do something on this diff. With 12 EM. 12.3. I think we want something like that. Like that. And we'll probably want to erase a bunch of other stuff as well. Controls tool. HTML equals to general. So if I do that, it'll just break the thing. Click on the box on the left to control mouse. Yeah, and we'll probably want to wipe these out as well. Controls aux. Boom. Yeah, okay. I was just wondering why this was there, but yeah. Boom. And then we'll probably add like something for the escape thing. And then we'll, ooh, the music. And then we'll do one final one. Yes. To escape. All right. So we can now yeah, I could minify this further, but it's not really very important. In fact, now we can put this in one line as well. We can probably do we can do query selector all. Like if I do query selector all and then chain these selectors like that, I should get back 3. Whoops. Nope. I should get back 3 of these guys as an array or an array-like thing, right? Right. So we can do something like const A, B, C, right? Then we can do A dot inner equals B inner equals jump. And C dot inner does that, right? Yeah. Okay. I don't think we'll crunch it down too much further than other than this. And now we gotta get this into an executable state. So what I would like to do is I would like to separate this from that. Okay. Do we need the async? Yes, because of this stuff over here, right? Is this now compressed already? How long is this? No, this is 41 kilobytes. So I should be able to just compress this now. Where's the compression stuff? All right, so the leftmost one is the one we're working on. Where's the compression stuff? Here. This is our 41 kilobyte whatever, right? So this gets us the compressed string. So if I just do that, and I copy that, and then I should be able to just replace that with this, except now this won't work anymore because it's compressed, right? Yes. But now we should be able to decompress that. So we'll just call this const dec equals deco is async d. Right, now that's just that. Turn await. This is a blob. Can go in here. And we can just return that. Right? And then this becomes, well, I'm just going to do that. I don't have to do that anymore. I don't even have to do that anymore. I'm going to deco that. We're just going to decompress the game. Right? That should work. No. Because we need to await that. What's happening? What? So if I output the game And then whatever this is. What do I get? I get an error on a... What? Oh. So, the decompressed data is that. So this is no longer base64 encoded. Wait. So, excuse me, if I do this, HTML, all right. And now we'll do this. We'll create a blob from this HTML data. And then we output the src. What does that look like? And once again, but... Oh, because I, once again, selected everything. Okay. Oh, now it works. Seriously? So probably we need to do this. I was about to do it again. All right. I think I can safely remove that now. Cool. All right, so we don't need that, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. And to be fair, this src doesn't have to be a separate variable anymore. Just goes in here, like that. Like that. Okay. Okay. The scroll bar is worrying. Okay. So it works, it works. Is this part I could probably get rid of as well. But that's fine. Okay, so now this whole thing is on under 20 kilobytes, which is a good start. Now I want to do the same thing with the rest of it. So ultimately I want to have a function that takes two strings and basically executes the first one and passes the second one in, right? So we want all of this code also encoded. And potentially as well compressed as well. Right. So this is our game, and then we'll have our code. Right, and our code will be this, minus the decompression function. So if I just take this as it is, and I'll basically, I don't even know if I should bother minifying it, right? If I just run it through the compression algo. So let's do that down here. So if I do something like this, ooh, actually this can now just be single quoted. Now this can be just like that. So we can now say src, for example, right? Right, and let comp, we can just do this, boom. Just src. If I just take that, it doesn't like it. Because of these. Can they be escaped? Maybe. Maybe. You know what? Let's just get rid of that. We don't need that. we can do without those funky quotes. Plus. Now, obviously, I'm probably going to be introducing a bajillion little errors that are going to haunt me. But for now, let's try our luck. And then if I'll decompress our compressed, we'll get the same back. Okay. So that's our code, in theory. So that goes in here. And that's 700 bytes. All right. Wrong buttons. And now, in theory, we should be able to do we should be able to if I do deco src, what does that look like? SRC is not defined because it's code, but let's make it SRC. Boom. Okay. If I do eval, unexpected identifier, eval await deco. Boom. Unexpected identifier deco. So in our original source code here, we're using deco where here. So let's get rid of that and move it into the root function, I guess. So we can just say game equals await deco game. And then here, instead of using deco, we'll just use game synchronously. So we'll do that. We'll grab that string, place it here, and then rerun that. Once we figure out where our line breaks go. And it works. Hey, look at that. Okay, cool. So now we don't need any of this, right? And that's the entire source code. And there aren't even a lot of quotes or anything like that. I guess I can minify this a little bit. Now, let's stop that before I forget. Okay, we don't need any of that. We don't need that. Okay, and now we gotta turn that into something that works under these circumstances. Okay, all right. So this was my test puzzle. Right, so this is puzzle data that gets loaded in. So if I take this, it should replace the current puzzle with the magic puzzle somehow. And then load it. Which needs to run on the unfixed version. So if we do this, right, and then we'll do this, and then we do this. Okay, so that works. So now we need to take this and inject our code from up here into this. So we got to get rid of all of this other stuff. And we'll probably don't want to even do the mouse move and any of that stuff. We don't need to do that. We get rid of all of these things here. We can get rid of all of this stuff as well. We can get rid of this. Probably all the way up to Maybe here? Right? Like if I do alert hi here, or that. So if I reload this, right, and then I put that in there. Okay, that doesn't work the same way. So I broke it. Of course I broke it. So what he was doing earlier matters. On mouse move here. Why does that not trigger the on mouse move handler? So, trying to remember. So it does, maybe it wasn't the on mouse move that actually does it. On click. This has instant eval, this instance off script. Instance off has instance eval, this remove. Return 0 on click. Let's remove return 0 style. Correct yet script object. Oh wait, is it because I kind of went roughshod all over this and it's something here is in a script tag and some other stuff is not in a script tag? Maybe I broke the puzzle structure. Message correct, yay. Script object assign. All right, let's restart from this. Let's restart from this. We'll get rid of just the base 64 encoding for now. Right. Then we get rid of the content of the script, which starts here, object assign, style, position, height, boom, 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 boom. Right. So if I do this now, okay, and the script says console.log ABC. I'm going to put that there. ABC. Okay. Now, can we script is on mouse move? Okay, so if I do console.log mouse move and on click, and is there another one on mouse move? On click, and I think that's it. Oh, on mouse move. So these symbols screw with it. Okay. Maybe that's why he put the actual script in a different place. Maybe. Like that. Also broken. Okay, what if I just do console or window? Then we don't have any quotation marks. Wow, that's also broken? As instance of eval, this remove. double quote. I think he realized he couldn't have braces here. Clever. I mean, this person knows more about this sort of stuff than I do, that's for sure. Ah. Oh. The heck? ABC. Console.log A, console.log B. A. So it's hitting on the mouse move. But because we can't use braces, he did this. That's clever. And it doesn't have to be script, it could be anything, right? Okay. Okay. All right. So if I do this, we can skip. Well, okay, now that we know this, we can just leave it like that, frankly. I do this, and now we gotta make this fit into the other part. Right. Hopefully that will be okay. So our SRC is this, our script, and we can't have double quotes in here, but we can have single. No, we should replace the singles with backticks. So backtick, nope, backtick. Backtick, backtick. Backtick, backtick, backtick. G-sip. Okay, so if I do this now, and now it does that. Sure. Scroll bar we should fix, but I don't do that right now. And now we gotta get the puzzle data back out. Right. To string. No. JSON.stringify. Boom. Copy. New. Now. Okay, wait. I had the code that does the stuff somewhere around here. Basically, that turns the raw JSON into something more puzzle formatty. No. Okay. What we really need to do then is load puzzle.compress puzzle. Like that. And then that becomes this. And now that might be our puzzle data. And that should be SCL format. And now if we go to our place where we have these things, just copy that. Right? We take that, put it in here, save that, and then we'll go sven/do exploit 2. Hey Laura Smith, how are you doing? All right, look at this. Okay, I think this is good enough for my purposes. Okay. So that's the 26 kilobyte version. Now let's close this. Yeah, 26 kilobytes. That's not bad. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of puzzles bigger than that. All right, I need to probably reboot my computer. I think we're gonna call it a day here. It's getting crazy late. This is probably not resolved. Yeah, I probably need to restart Chrome or my computer or whatever. It was a bit of a chaotic stream. Sorry, you're just popped in towards the end of the stream. Yeah, so hopefully that'll fix that JavaScript injection, because holy moly. Thankfully, I mean, yes, I have copies of the puzzles, but I don't really link to them from anywhere. So the only time somebody will get to a puzzle is if they find a link to it. So if somebody wants to exploit that, they actually have to send somebody a link and get them to click. And, well, the only thing they're getting out of using a SudokuPad puzzle is potentially a trusted domain name, right? So it definitely needs fixing, but it's hopefully not like a massive security vulnerability, because it doesn't let people attack my users en masse, right? They have to deliberately distribute the puzzle themselves. Hey, oh, key. Ooh, bats. Pop. There you go. Who's it's the bats. Right. Is there another weapon? That's what I wonder. Ooh. What's going on here? More bats. Leave me alone. Alright, what's that glowy ball? Oh no. That's it. That's it. That's it. We're back at the beginning. Alright. Okay, that's it. I gotta get going. Thanks for hanging out. Sorry about the chaotic stream. I blame Windows, as I think it's always a safe bet. And that music is a problem. Okay, here we go. Thanks for hanging out. Take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Or the Discord. Pop by or send me an email. That also works. Oh, I gave up on the buttons because you need mouse controls for the viewing. So unless I want to create full complex touch controls to make it playable on a phone, it wasn't gonna work properly. So I spent my time more about, I compressed it a little bit better. So the whole puzzle is now only 24 kilobytes, 26 in total. So that was kind of fun. So not bad, not bad. It's still double the size of the actual zip file, 13 kilobyte, because the Doom file is actually 31 kilobytes, but it's like for the competition, it was a 13 kilobyte zip file, which I didn't realize that's how the rules work. But yeah, the actual deployable, which isn't here. Can I find it quickly? Yeah. The actual build version is 13 kilobyte as a zip file, right? But then on the inside, it's the 31 kilobytes. So this zip obviously is compressed with a higher compression ratio, and it's not base 64 encoded. So the need for base 64 encoding kind of makes it a lot chunkier, but it's not too bad, not too bad. Whoops, that shouldn't go there. And the music is playing again. Oh no, where's the music playing? No, ah, here we go. Nope, that wasn't it. There we go. Whew. Well, just having fun. Yeah, fixing the bug was important. And this way I made it slightly more interesting for my ADHD riddled brain. So I got going with it. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for hanging out, guys. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Did I say thanks for hanging out already? Yeah. See y'all.